Hello, Alaska. It's the Bob Marks Show. It's 7:03 and a half.
Yes, sir.
KWHL Anchorage, 44 degrees outside. It is a 2 for Tuesday. That was a double shot of Seether. We'll do two more of your favorites.
Awesome.
Coming up at the top of the hour. On the line with us right now, you know what? I got to tell you. In the world in which we live, which is the entertainment world and the media world,
Yes.
I have learned so much, about the way things are and the way things can be manipulated and twisted. And
no doubt.
it's crazy. It seems like it was just yesterday, but it was over 4 years ago when Sarah Palin made the news and was picked as John McCain's VP. And I tell you, that was the day Alaska just got turned upside down, twisted inside out, and people chose sides. And what could have been a wonderful moment for the state of Alaska, I think it really showed a lot of people's ugly side.
Yes, and that woman was vetted like no candidate before.
Right, as a
and
VP.
as a vice presidential candidate than anyone in the history of this country, my friend.
Right. John McCain became an afterthought.
No one was scrutinized more than Sarah Palin.
Correct.
And no one was dragged through the mud and criticized, not just constructive criticism, but in a hurtful, hateful way.
Right. And even if you were a friend of hers, you got kicked and battered.
Oh, we were thrown all over.
Anyway, there's always two sides to every story. And nobody knows someone better than someone that lived with them.
Yes.
So on the line right now, we have two Chucks. We have Chuck Sr. and Chuck Jr., Heath.
Yes.
Papa and brother of Sarah Palin. How you guys doing this morning?
Oh, great. We're back here in New York. Yeah, I've been interviewing right and left here, and just got off Fox. What was the name of the program, Chuck?
Fox and Friends.
Fox and Friends, yeah. So we've had a good time back here.
Now, the name of the book is Our Sarah, Made in Alaska. How much of this book is a yin to the yang of all the misinformation that has been served up over the last 4.5 years about Sarah?
Well, I think it's a huge yin to the yang. Hopefully, it's going to be a slap in the face to a lot of people. I mean, bring them back to reality. You know, that her record was so completely distorted. You guys know that. The book isn't. It wasn't. It's not 100% to go out and set the record straight, although it does that. It does that real clearly, but it was to share Alaska with the rest of the country too, and to talk about all these crazy experiences that we had growing up and how that kind of formed Sarah's character, made her who she is today. But it definitely is going to set the record straight on a lot of misconceptions out there.
There's been maybe 100 books written about Sarah, and only 3 have been totally factual. Some are so full of baloney. One guy wrote a book that just from watching the news and reading the newspaper, wrote a whole book on Sarah
in 3 weeks.
Yeah, in 3 weeks. Yeah.
Insane.
How hard has it been for you, Chuck Sr., as a father, to watch your daughter, your baby girl, be treated like she has been treated?
Oh, Chuck's had to pull me off away from people once in a while. Anymore, I guess I'm getting callous, and I say, "What's next?"
Right.
But, it's a lot of things have been very, very hurtful, but especially with the newspaper reporters, and the newspaper reporters can embellish so many things.
And they always come across as being your best friend when they're talking to you.
Oh, yes.
And then the story comes out, and you're saying, hey, wait a minute, that's not what I said. That's not what I meant to say.
It's insane.
And they don't care. They're out there to cause havoc and damage.
Well, let me give you an example.
Okay.
On our local newspaper, I answered 6 questions with I don't knows, but they filled in the blanks with what they wanted people to read or to hear. I don't know, but they put something in there.
For me, the biggest surprise was how Sarah was treated here locally at home. That, to me, was what was the most bothersome. Now, nationally, okay, you know what? They have their agenda. They don't know her. I get it. She's not doing anything for their state. But it was the attacks locally that really bothered me. Did you feel the same way?
Well, yes, and it was it wasn't the major populace. It was just a few, and they got the attention. The newspapers just jumped on on their quotes, what they said, sought them out. Let me give you an example. In Wasilla, they paid, reporters would offer pay to kids if they would give dirt or dig up dirt on the Palin kids when they were in school, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Think about that for a second.
That's disgusting.
Everyone, what if someone was paid to dig up dirt on you? Could they find anything that maybe you did as a kid that you're not proud of? We all did.
Yes.
Oh, sure. Sure.
And to live under that microscope is incredibly unfair. But, Sarah's tough, and she can take care of herself. And I know this isn't a book to defend Sarah, because she's done a fine job of that. And like you'd mentioned, Junior, it's more of a showcase of the Sarah Palin we grew up with and the girl that we knew. And but let me ask you this: is there any story in the book, and it's called "Our Sarah Made in Alaska"? Is there anything in the book that Sarah would be probably like, "Oh, why'd you put that in there"?
I hope not. Sarah hasn't read the book yet. She told us when we told her we were writing a book and asked her about reading it. She said, "You guys go for it." She said, "Just be honest like she is, and I'll go along with it." And I hope she reads it. She should enjoy it.
She did write the foreword for us, though, and in the foreword she states this is our story. It's the best of our recollection, and I'm really happy that we were able to put it out, and hopefully it's going to change some minds. The hardcore haters out there are always going to hate.
Yeah,
right.
They'll never change.
Well,
but,
give us an idea of something that maybe people didn't know about Sarah Palin, that someone that maybe is on the fence or maybe even on the other side that thinks, oh, she's just a terrible, terrible person. What are some things about Sarah Palin that might surprise some people?
Well, how competitive she is. I don't care what the endeavor she's involved in. She's totally competitive. Whether it was sports or commercial fishing or politics, or when Todd Palin came into the scene, all the girls were after Todd. When Sarah jumped in there with all 4 feet, that was her competitive nature. I coached her in cross country and in track and field, and I saw her competitive nature. Unbelievable. If she lacked a certain skill, she worked and worked and worked until she developed that skill. Commercial fishing, we fished in the Nushagak in Bristol Bay for several years, and Sarah and I one time went 3 days and 2 nights without any sleep. I wanted to bag it for, and get some sleep. She kept pushing me. Go hunting with her. She'll see something 3 or 4 or 5 miles away. She'll say, "Let's go after it, Dad," and I'm too lazy, and she says, "We're going after it." Totally competitive and a workaholic.
Yeah, we've witnessed that on Sarah Palin's Alaska when you guys went caribou hunting.
Hey, are you supposed to sight your gun in?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, you guys are obviously having a good time doing this. When will you be back in Alaska?
I believe we're going to be back around October 10th or so. We've got an 8 or 9 state book tour going on here after we leave New York in a couple of days. And we'd like to do something up in Alaska, too. We'll try to hook up with you guys and have you help us out there.
Great.
That would be fantastic. Now, is Sarah scheduled to make any surprise appearances while you're out promoting the book?
We're not sure, but we sure hope so.
It might be nice.
Yeah,
she's very, very unpredictable, and we've seen that her whole life. You'll think she's down and out, and boy, she'll surface and way ahead of of anyone else, way ahead of the game.
Yep.
So we found out a long time ago we don't predict what she's going to do. The most common question asked of us, what's her game plan? We have no idea.
Yeah.
So what's her game plan?
Yeah, we tell people, and we're telling the truth, too. We don't know what she's doing tomorrow morning,
right.
Let alone 4 years from now.
Let me ask you both. We got Chuck Sr. and Chuck Jr., father of Sarah Palin, brother of Sarah Palin. Do you kind of wish she would have ran for president against Obama this term?
Well, I personally, Dad, I don't know how you feel, but I sure wish she would have. I mean,
I definitely wish she would have
electrified the crowd. She would have definitely. I mean, they put her into this polarizing position, but her beliefs and her courage and her smarts, I think she would have been a formidable opponent.
Oh yeah. anyone would be better what we have in there right now. And she would have got their attention. She draws a crowd. She gets her message across.
I agree.
No doubt.
Chuck Sr., Chuck Jr., thank you so much. And best of luck. The book is called Our Sarah Made in Alaska. Is it available now?
It came out today. I don't know how it's going to be distributed in Alaska, to tell the truth, but it just came out today.
All right. Well, I'm sure you can get it at Amazon or any place online. So pick up a copy, Our Sarah Made in Alaska. We'll stay in touch, guys, and we'll do something with you when you come back to Anchorage, okay?
Oh,
Sounds great.
We'll look forward to it.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, very
Thanks,
good.
Bob.
All right, you got it.
Chuck Heath Sr., Chuck Heath Jr., a couple of Chucks. See you on a 2 for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Keeping it real. It's the Bob Marks Show. We've been here. We'll be here.
That's it.